Oh my God, if I had an arcade. If I had my own arcade, forget about it. There's certain things I know I'm not allowed to have. If I had a basement, oh my God, and I could put arcade machines, are you kidding me? Number one, it would be like a psychological torture. If you came to my arcade, you'd leave having dreams like Jacob's Ladder. You'd be sleeping at night, things coming up from under your fucking sheets, wrapping you in the head, strapped down to a gurney. Remember that movie, Jacob's Ladder? Fucking, what was going on? What the fuck was going on? Listen to me right now. A lot of these yahoos, I watched them set up their cockamamie arcade room, okay? They don't know what they're doing. They're floundering. They're putting this machine over here, that machine over there. No. Number one, very specific. If I'm starting an arcade, I'm writing everything down. And I know exactly how I do it, okay? The most important thing about an arcade, here we go, is sound. Oh yeah. So this is what you do. Now, the visual part's important too. You dim the lights. You got black lights around. The side art's popping. The fucking marquees are lit up. Yeah, I get it. But the sound. And this is where I go. It would be Williams cabinets in all four corners. You got to understand something. Those early 80s Williams cabinets were like that hooker from Full Metal Jacket. Remember her? Miso. My name's Miso. Miso horny. Me fucky, me sucky. That was a Williams cabinet, man. Oh, yeah. What, are you kidding me? You'd walk by Robotron, you get that ding, 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 ding. Walk, walk, walk. Ding, 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 ding. Walk, walk, walk. Are you kidding me? Holy shit, it'd pop your eardrums. And they always had the volume cranked up all the way. Here we go. Ready? Here we go. It would be in all four corners. It would be Defender. Oh my God, Defender. The sound of the lasers in Defender and the explosions in Defender. It's like every time you shoot a ship, it's the Death Star exploding. Do you understand? Defender, Robotron, Smash TV. Oh yeah, that's a Williams cab, baby. Oh, I'd buy that for $1. Big money, big prizes. I love it.
Big money, big prizes. I love it.
Crank the volume up like you can't imagine. The speakers would be smoking. What else? Joust? Joust was another one that was like mayhem on your ears. But right in the middle, center stage, would be Sinistar. Oh, yeah. Run, coward!
Run, coward.
I hunger!
I hunger.
Remember that one? Remember when you would fight the thing in Sinistar, the main boss, and he'd be like, it's like, what? Ah! It's a madhouse. It's a fucking madhouse. You'd have to. I'd have fire hoses turn on and push you out of the arcade when you were done playing. Are you kidding me? Listen, it's very important. Sound it'd be like a Stutka fucking dive bomber in my arcade. Yeah. Oh yeah. You don't know about the Stutka? World War II German dive bomber? Yeah, they put 2 fucking sirens on the wings of the plane, so when it would dive, you know, if you were in France, you know, getting ready for work, you know, putting your little, like, wine and cheese in your lunchbox for your break. For what? In France, what do you take, like a fucking 8-hour break? I read about this the other day. It's like people in Germany, France, over there, Spain. It's like they take half the day off for a break. I'm like, what is going on here? I'm over here, I'm working on death row. There's no time for a fucking break. I mean, for Christ's sake. I guess it's better than Japan, though, right? What happens in Japan? Like, I bet if you hit snooze on your alarm clock in Japan, an arm comes out and like with a knife and cuts your stomach open. I don't know. Yeah, so you got you know your French guy. What do you put on that fucking hat? The beret. You got your lunch bag with your wine and your cheese. You're heading off to work, and all of a sudden you hear fucking dive bomber, and you're like. You start doing a fucking Carvel into your pants. What the fuck? Can you imagine the level of stress? It's like I hear a dive bomb, a certain death on the way, and the Stutka. Here was the thing about the Stutka. You know what they called the sirens? They were called the horns of Jericho. The fucking sirens were 2.5 feet in diameter. Okay? This wasn't like one of those little wolf whistles that you buy at the dollar store. Alright, these things were... could you imagine what this sounded like coming at you? And not only that, to build up more speed, most dive bombers at the time could dive at like 60 degrees. Because, you know, the G-force and whatnot pulling up, they didn't want the pilots blacking out. No. Not the Stutka. The Stutka could dive straight down. And it actually had automatic, like, what was it? An automatic hydraulic, what was it called? Air brake system. So in other words, the pilot was basically supposed to pass out. He'd be diving at such speed and he would basically black out. I think it was like 8 G's or something like that. The plane would hit like 8.5 G's, and then the plane had a hydraulic system that would automatically pull out of the dive. So you could basically sit there and die in the cockpit and the plane would recover itself. And then you'd come back. And I think after 8.5 G's, when you do come back to consciousness, you're blind for like 3 minutes. So imagine that ride as a pilot. And you got these 2 fucking sirens next to your head. It's like a fucking hell ride, man. My Christ. It's hell for the pilots, hell for people on the ground. Everybody's shaking at the end. Oh my God. Give me a beer just thinking about it. Anyhow, what were we talking about? Oh, yeah, Sinistar, right in the middle, baby. Oh, yeah, you go deaf. It would be like a fucking Motley Crue concert. Remember when people used to go to concerts and go deaf back in the 80s? Come on. You don't meet anybody like that anymore. You're like, what? Hey, what happened to you? Motley Crue! Doesn't happen anymore. Listen, I got news for you. You think it's a lie? Back in my day, when I used to, me and my buddy Steve, we thought we were in a band, you know? We go down to the studio, L.I. Rocks. And it was a shithole. But the thing about L.I. Rocks is they had, when you would go inside, some of the rooms, we'd get the big room, right? It was like $15 for the medium room. That's what we would normally get. But every once in a while, I don't know if it was Christmas Eve, we'd get the big room. And that was like $25. And the thing about that was they had a drum set with Zildjian K cymbals. Oh yeah. Oh my God. The big room had a ride cymbal. I wanted to steal it. I'm so good. Listen, you know how easily I could have stole that ride? You come in with your own, because it was not uncommon to come in with your own cymbals. So you put your shit cymbal on there. You take their cymbal, slide it in the bag. I mean, the guy running the place was half stoned at the front desk. Walk out with the cymbal. That was the best sounding ride I ever heard in my life. And you know why? Because it was just hours and hours of bozos playing on it and beating it into submission till it was perfect. You understand? You know what drummers would go through to get that dark sound out of their cymbals? I used to bury my cymbals in the backyard. Yeah, bury them in the backyard, dig them up weeks later. They'd be all fucked up and oxidized, but they'd be a little darker, the sound. Because that was the thing with cheap cymbals. Cheap cymbals always sounded too bright. The expensive ones sounded darker. It had this wear to them. So that's the kind of things you do to your cheap cymbals to try to get them to sound better. And it still sound like you're hitting the top of a trash can. So we go in there, and Steve would plug into a full Marshall stack. And let me tell you something. There's a lot of mystique in music and whatnot. But I got news for you. The full Marshall stack is serious fucking business. Oh, yeah. And you would turn this thing up to 3. And it was like your ears would start bleeding. And I'm not kidding you, Jack. But we were in the confines of the studio, so I get it or whatever. But let me tell you something right now. Every once in a while we joke around. I think we could get the thing up to 8. And it was you couldn't even stand it. You couldn't even handle it. So imagine Motley Crue used to set up a wall of full stacks. So imagine being the poor fucking 17-year-old stoner in the front row. Like, hey, man. And Nikki Sixx is like, yeah, motherfucker. As he having that volume on your guitar. Imagine having that power. Like, one strum of your guitar activates this wall of speakers. Oh, come on. Come on. Probably walking around with a boner in his spandex. Anyhow, what are we talking about? Oh, you want to know the power of the Marshall stack? Remember the Tibetan Freedom Concert? Yeah, back in the 90s. Remember Oasis at the time? Everybody was into Oasis, and what was it? The two brothers were always fighting with each other. They're the new Beatles. Remember everybody? Oasis is the new Beatles. All right, why? Because they're from fucking England? I don't know. But anyway, the brothers were always fighting, and they had the Tibetan Freedom Concert. And I remember, I think it was before the Tibetan Freedom Concert, they got into a big blowout, and one of the brothers refused to play. So the one guy came out, and I think he had a double stack, 2 Marshall full stacks behind him, center stage, 2 Marshall full stacks behind him, and he played Wonderwall. Yes, solo. And let me tell you something. It worked. Those stacks handled that whole arena. So there's a lot of mystique behind a Marshall full stack, baby. Oh yeah. I'd hook Sinistar through a Marshall full stack.
Run, coward!
Anyhow. Yeah. Listen, you need a Smash TV, and you need a Robotron. Those twin stick shooters, oh my god, how much fun. How much fucking fun. Oh my Christ. For this, purely based on nostalgia, you gotta have Moon Patrol. For me, it's gotta be Moon Patrol. Playing Moon Patrol down at the mini market. Yeah, we had the Turkish guy in there running the mini market, and all the kids used to go in there and steal the candy from the guy. And he'd be like, I'd come in here, we'd go in there, and he'd be like, "This fucking shit! This fucking shit!" But in the back room, they had Moon Patrol, Donkey Kong 3 set up back there. And Galaga, not Galaga. Can everybody knock it off? Yeah, Moon Patrol in there, and I remember playing Moon Patrol, and just like, you get to the same spot all the time and die, because it was like 1 quarter every couple days, because it was a very, very what was it? You'd have to really fight with yourself to spend those quarters in the arcade, because you got to understand something. A quarter could get you a pack of Now and Laters. It could get you one of those barrel drinks. So if it's like summertime, you're like, do we gonna want to play Moon Patrol, or is it like, are we gonna buy a barrel drink and cool down, a nice orange or grape barrel drink? Oh my God, with the foil top, Pujoosh. No, or you'd see like an older kid go in, and it was like you just like kind of follow him into the arcade room, and it was funny because the arcade room almost had like a curtain, and then it was dark back there, so it was like the older kid with the leather jacket would come up, and he'd line up the quarters up on the fucking ledge there, and you come in with your little fucking heart on, like you come moping in, like, can I watch? Like a little pervert jerking off in the corner. And that was the best. I used to love watching other people play the arcades. Oh man, if it was somebody that was just there with a roll of quarters, you knew you were going to get so far into the game, you're going to be able to see so much. So exciting. So exciting. So yeah, I'd watch the older kids take Moon Patrol to town. Oh, it was wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. We'd have to have R-Type in there. Purely for the fact that it's the first like real deal shooter I ever played. side-scrolling shooter. My first taste of R-Type was in the arcade at the stationery store next to Drago Pizza. Me and Stevie would go in there and buy our comic books, and then we take the change and we go play R-Type. They had an R-Type cabinet. I never saw an R-Type cabinet anywhere else. Oh my god! And just using that charge shot felt like cheating. It was like, oh, they gave us a charge shot. Oh my god! I thought he had to put extra quarters in to use the charge shot again. And I couldn't get off the first level in R-Type, man. I didn't understand it. You never played a side-scrolling spaceship shooter. Well, you did, right? Cosmic Avenger. But, I mean, R-Type was advanced, man. You were getting weapon power-ups. It was like, wow, this is so much better. IRIM, baby. Moon Patrol, IRIM. There you go. There's the IRIM section. Right there. Moon Patrol and R-Type. Please. I gotta have Altered Beast. That's a must. A lot of these games are based on nostalgia. You gotta have Altered Beast. I'm sorry. Yeah. Used to go down to Drago Pizza. Get a couple of fucking Zeppelis. Oh yeah. They put the Zeppelis in a white paper bag, right? It would turn clear in about 3 seconds flat. From all the fucking grease. Powdered sugar. Remember, he used to take the Zeppelis with the tongs, put them in the plastic in the white paper bag, and take the powdered sugar like this. Shake the bag. By the time you sat at the table, the bag was clear. Oh yeah, get up, play some Altered Beast. Rise from your grave. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Ding, 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 ding. Dun, 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 dun.
Rise from your grave. Power up.
What, are you kidding me? And it was like, when you turned into the Beast, oh, please, man. It was like a game breaker. It was like, that's it. We're on free play. I'm the Beast now. What a great concept. You turn into that wolf, and it was like, once you turned into the wolf, that's it. You cleared the level. And then it was like this panic on the next level to try to turn into the dragon. Because once you turned into the dragon, that's it. You had like this fucking force field. You're shooting out fireballs. Oh my god. That was what was so exciting about Altered Beast. Because sometimes the arcades would crush you. You understand? Quarter munchers. You understand? Especially the arcades of old. Quarter munchers, man. And then you'd play Altered Beast, and it was like you became almost invincible. Oh, way to make the quarter last, baby. Way to make the quarter last. You gotta have heavy barrel. Data East arcade cab. What? This is classic arcade machine with the... Listen, it's the run and gun, over the head run and gun, right? But the joysticks, to turn your guy, you turn the joystick. Oh my god, what a thrill. I can't tell you how many quarters I put into heavy barrel. And the main reason why you put the quarters into heavy barrel is so you could hear the guy go, heavy barrel! And again, you got this game-breaking weapon. Heavy barrel.
Attack! Attack!
That made you almost invincible. Oh my God, to get heavy... Number one, it took so long to get heavy barrel. It was like a real accomplishment when you got it. And then once you got it, it was like you were lighting everything on fire with that weapon. And it was like this big gun and these big, like, plasma bullets were coming out and clearing the screen. Oh my God, it was insanity. It was insanity. You would just melt everything off the screen. Heavy barrel. Sip of coffee for heavy barrel, man. Sip of goddamn coffee. You gotta have a Street Fighter 2. I'm sorry. You gotta have a Street Fighter 2 Champions Edition. You just gotta. Oh yeah. Give me one. I don't care if it's got the fucking screen burning and everything. Old school Street Fighter 2 Championships Edition. Gotta have it. And get so good at it. Get so good at it that you could just hit. I remember going into the arcade and watching a guy humiliate everybody with Zangief. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. He was unstoppable with Zangief. Oh, I used to love that, man. When somebody would get on that machine and just take control, and it was like people would line up to try to take this fucking sucker down. Oh, yeah. He was icing everybody with Zangief, man. Oh, it was great. It's like that was like the thing. Who are the weak characters? The weak characters in Street Fighter 2. Is Sagat. I love Sagat. Tiger uppercut. Tiger uppercut. That was Sagat to me was, I think, the best looking of the characters, right? It's like this Thai kickboxer, right? He always had that stance like this, hands wrapped, big scar on the chest. You're like, what happened to this guy? Somebody kicked him with some fucking he got somebody's toenail across his chest, cut him open. What happened to him? And the Tiger uppercut, come on. The Tiger uppercut is more badass than the fucking than Ken and Ryu's uppercut. I'm sorry. Because he's so tall, and it's like he crouches down to the floor, and he's punching up to the top of the screen. You want to get hit with that uppercut? I don't think so. I don't think so, kid. Who do we count? Bison? Not Bison. Balrog? But as far as the main characters go, it was E Honda and fucking and Zangief. Those probably were the weakest characters. Am I wrong on that one? I don't know. The cheapest character is probably Chun-Li. Yeah, probably Chun-Li. Anyhow. I gotta have a Neo Geo cab in there. And the 4 games, I'm gonna tell you, this is all based on nostalgia. Because this is the first time I saw a Neo Geo cabinet, and I was floored the first time I saw a Neo Geo cab. It was like you're playing Neo Geo, and you could look to your left and see Electronics Boutique right next door, and you could, from the Neo Geo cabinet, you could see the Neo Geo display hanging on the wall, and it was like, I could buy this for my house, right there. Yeah, too bad I don't have $750 large cruising around in my pocket. Anyhow, the Neo Geo cab, you gotta have Magician Lord. super spy.
The secret spy.
Nam 75.
Summer 1975. A nightmare awaits me. I am being recalled to Nocturne headquarters. Do I have to go back to the hell again?
And Windjammers. Remember the card in the bottom? You could put your card in the Neo Geo cab. I don't know, but because it. Oh my God! You want to talk about balling? Imagine coming into the arcade and just taking your Neo Geo card. It's like, oh my God, he's got a Neo Geo at home. Follow this kid home. I would have followed him home. I would have been hanging out under his bushes, under his bedroom window. What else? I gotta have Narc.
Attention, Narc 1.
Oh no, the knife, man!
511 in progress.
Let's go.
I gotta have Narc and Total Carnage. I'm sorry. Narc has gotta be there. I love when you shoot those fucking guys in the overcoats. You know, they're like real dirtbag drug dealers. And when you kill them, it's like, what are they like in their what are they? They're in like their boxer shorts. When you kill them, then they fall. Their animation when they fall on the floor is that their overcoat opens up and they have like a big belly and boxer shorts on. It's like, what kind of dirtbags are there? Their hair's like, isn't there like bald spots and whatnot? These are like real dirtbags. Oh my God, Narc is just insanity. Narc and Total Carnage, those games are just insanity.
Help! 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 Help!
They're insane. So it's got to be in my arcade. Oh my God. And I think lastly I'd have to have Paperboy in there. Yeah. Paperboy with the BMX handlebars, remember that? Oh, yeah. Paperboy was super cool. I remember going to a wedding at a bowling alley. Yeah, baby. Oh, it was the best wedding I ever went to. Oh, everybody was hammered. My parents included. I don't even know how we got home. Yeah, oh. And I remember begging my parents for quarters. And you don't understand, that didn't fly. I don't care how much they were drinking. They wouldn't give me quarters for the arcade machine. But this Italian guy, this guy was like a made man. You could tell. He had the fucking, the collar. You remember the collar from Goodfellas? It came down like a dinner fork. This guy was dressed in like gray and black. He had the rings on his hands. Anyhow, this guy was like a made man. And, this was some wedding. There was like mobsters there. There were bikers there. This was like, what was going on with this crowd? Anyhow, this mobster was giving me like rolls of quarters. And I was like, I felt guilty for taking them. But the allure of playing Paperboy was so strong that I was just taking them. I was like, what am I going to have to do, a hit for this guy? By the end of this wedding? I owe this guy a favor somehow or somewhere. I'm waiting for the phone call. But anyhow, he gave me quarters. I remember I was hiding the quarters from my parents. Like when my dad would walk by or something like that, I put the quarters in my pocket. Normally you put them up on the cab. I put them up in my pocket. I didn't want my father saying, where are you getting all these quarters from? Because that would have been the end of that. Anyhow, I was playing Paperboy all night. And you had the fucking the handlebars. Oh my god, it was like you were on a BMX bike. It's just like fantastic.
Oh wow.
Fantastic arcade. Paperboy, loads of fun. Loads of fun. I used to try to get people unsubscribed. Well, maybe not in the arcade because that meant more quarters. But when I would play at home on a Nintendo version, my goal was to get everybody unsubscribed. Just throw papers through your windows, break all your windows out. Yeah. Hit the cat, hit the flower pots. You kidding me? That's it, my friends. That's a fucking arcade. Oh, yeah. You just tuned into the greatest video game program in the history of human civilization. And you better believe that. With a 4K face! We'll see you next time. All right, to all the Patreons out there, temporarily, I gotta eliminate the, I gotta take down the Game Smash and the game review tier. I'm so fucking far behind on game reviews and Game Smashes. I'm gonna listen. I know everybody's Game Smash that I gotta do, and I'm gonna honor it. Okay, but I'm so far behind that I gotta take it down temporarily. I just gotta. I'm so fucking far behind. Part of it was building that goddamn machine outside, that fucking cockamamie machine. And I'll bring them back, but I got so many I gotta do. I still have to do Game Smashes from February. I gotta do March, and I gotta do April. And I think I got 10 game reviews that I gotta do. I'm so far behind. And right now I'm wrestling with a game review. I can't even tell you how I'm wrestling with this one. I've been on this one for a week already. I swear to God, I'm telling you right now, I'm so far behind. I'm trying to do things the right way. I'm going to honor everybody's Game Smash. I promise you. I know I'm far behind on this Patreon thing, and I'm trying to get it into gear. It's just that we've had like rain over here like you can't even imagine. Every time I come home, I want to go out and do some more Game Smashers, and it's like nonstop raining. So I just got to put these tears on pause so I can catch up. Okay, but I want to thank everybody on Patreon. I really do. It keeps the show rolling, man. Thank you to everybody. Yeah. I'm working hard. You need to understand that. I'm working hard. I'm trying to pump out 2 shows a week, and I'm trying to stay on top of things. It's not easy. It's not easy. Just please trust me that I'm working. I'm working. Yeah. All right, guys.